Yo, it's canceling your Lambo pre-order season of the year again. The cryptocurrency markets are currently in a complete crash and bleeding out entirely, and it seems that there's no bottom at all. So the question is right now, where do we go from here? Have the fundamentals changed? What has happened? What is going to happen over the next few weeks? Are we still in the bull run, right? A lot of open questions. And in this video, I want to talk about exactly that. I want to talk about the bearish news that came out over the past few days, with all the Elon FUD, with the China FUD, but also about all the positive and bullish news that are still in the pipeline, because I still believe that we are in a bull run. And in today's video, I want to talk about that. On top of that, I also want to share some learnings and experiences from me over the past 4 years in crypto trading and crypto investing. I'm not a trader, I'm more of a crypto investor, fundamental investor. And I want to share also my strategy and my emotions and my feelings during these times. And if you appreciate that, then make sure that you hit up that subscribe button now more than ever. I'm one of those crypto YouTubers. I'm here to stay. I'm not going to go anywhere. I plan to make content throughout the winter times, throughout the best times, throughout the bear and bull, no matter what the market sentiment is. And if you like this type of content, then please make sure that you share this with some friends on your Facebook, on your LinkedIn, on your WhatsApp, share it on your Twitter, tag me. I'm always happy to also engage and connect with you guys. And also make sure, lastly, that you watch this entire thing. All right, and before we get into all the details and all that has happened and my thoughts on it, I want to share one very, very, very important thought with you that I think not many YouTubers, or maybe even no crypto YouTuber at least, have ever said, right? And that is that you should, if you want to enter full-time crypto or want to become a full-time crypto investor, you should always have a separate source of income from a different industry, right? I think it always makes sense to have multiple income streams, so that, for example, one Black Swan event happens in one industry, you're not entirely wrecked, you're not entirely left on the streets, right? So what I'm doing, for example, is I'm also having an online business, right? We're trading on Amazon. And I think it's super important to just have that or something like that, right? It could be anything. It could be affiliate marketing. It could be some sort of automated SEO stuff, right? Or even freelancer work, like some side business, side hustle that pays the bills, because we know the game, and we know the game for so many years now, how volatile it can be, right? How rewarding, but also how punishing it can be. And the past few days have been extremely cruel for many people, especially those who joined the space completely newly, right? So I remember like a week or two ago, we still had Dogecoin and Shiba Inu on the screen, right? The future of finance. And we made fun of meme coins, right? And now nobody talks about them anymore, right? And I've warned you guys to not buy those coins that don't have really strong fundamentals. I even showed you the GitHub rep of Dogecoin, right? Sure, Elon still keeps pumping it, but the point was always that you should analyze and research strong fundamentals, right? So that's point number one. Make sure that you set up somehow another stream of income that is decoupled and detached from crypto, right? So that when crypto crashes, you're not left on the streets. All right, so now let's address a little bit of the bearish news that came out over the past week, actually, right? It has only started a few days ago, but might have caused a dump, right? And it seems to me like a coordinated FUD attack, right? From a lot of institutions, but also governments now, and big players on the table, right? Maybe they want to get cheap entry positions, or maybe they just want to crack down on crypto because they figure out, and that's what we've been saying for many years now, they figure out that they can't do much. They can't do much unless then spreading fear, right? And putting that into people's heads. Like, oh my God, we're gonna tax crypto now like crazy, or we're gonna crack down on the mining, right? Like they have been saying this for many, many years, and they're now enforcing that more and more, right? Especially major jurisdictions like the US or like China, right? Now, how did it all start actually? It all started basically when Elon Musk came out and said like Tesla is not going to accept Bitcoin anymore, right? That was already a major news, because everybody thought that Elon Musk is one of us. He's fighting on the right side, you know, trying to build decentralized peer-to-peer networks and the future of finance, right? It's running on the blockchain, DLTs and those kinds of things. Turns out they ditched Bitcoin as a payment method for Tesla, right? And that's all fair, right? Bitcoin is not really suited for payments, and that's all good. Maybe they look into other cryptocurrencies, which is what they also said in that statement. But that's how it all started, right? That whole avalanche of FUD. The second one was basically when Elon Musk came out then personally and raised this whole energy debate, right? And that's also nothing new, guys. We have been talking about block sizes, about proof of work versus proof of stake, about how do you design robust and green consensus algorithms for many, many years. And I even made a video about it, talking about 5 coins that I think could even benefit from that whole debate, right? Because those conversations are ongoing for many years. That's nothing new, right? The third one was basically when the IRS came out and said they want to impose heavy taxation, right? They want to also track every major transactions that happens with crypto, right? And also that is nothing new, guys. Like, we have been anticipating clearer regulations now for years, right? And a lot of jurisdictions haven't done anything, right? So that has also been nothing new to us, right? It's just that this was kind of like the third news, right, that came out. And then probably the fourth one was when Binance was somehow involved in a major investigation, right? And guys, crypto exchanges in most countries are not regulated. They're not really properly overseen by financial institutions, right? And it's not an easy task to do either, right? So that has also been nothing new, because that debate was also ongoing for a long time now, right? And we've seen Binance shifting headquarters from, I think, firstly it was in Japan, then they moved to Hong Kong, then they moved to Malta, and now they're, I don't even know where they are right now, maybe offshore, right, in the Cayman Islands or whatever. But guys, this is also nothing new, right? And eventually centralized crypto exchanges are going to have a hard life, right? It's not going to change. But guess what? Decentralized exchanges are on the rise. Now, that's why they have so high trading volumes and zero downtime, right? And you always see that whenever we have extreme volatility in the markets, all those centralized exchanges are down anyway, right? Coinbase down, Kraken down, leverage exchange platforms down. But that doesn't matter in the long run, because we want to get rid of them anyways, right? We want to have decentralized leverage exchange platforms, a decentralized exchange and off-ramps and on-ramps, right? So it doesn't really matter in the long run anyways. Now, the next thing that came up was then this huge China news, right? Like, oh my God, China is now, finally, they're going to crack down crypto, right? We've all been in fear for so many years that they're going to do it. And now they're going to shut down all blockchains. They're going to take away all our Bitcoins. They're going to shut down all the mining farms, and they're just going to take away all of your Bitcoins. They have the power and they have the technological know-how to take away your private keys, even though you never wrote them down anyways, right? So they cracked the blockchains and they're now taking over crypto. Guys, that's old story, right? That's an old story. It has been told us now for so many years, and it's the same old thing, right? It's the same old hat. We have had this in 2017 in June when China came out and said they want to regulate crypto exchanges, even though still a lot of exchanges in crypto are Chinese. Huobi, Binance, OKX, like they're all Chinese guys, Gate.io. But still people jump on this, and still people are getting fearful from this, right? So that's just what's happening, right? And you see one event after the other is triggering this downside of news, right? And maybe that's even a good thing, because we had so much over enthusiasm, so much euphoria, right? When everybody's making money, when everything's going up, it has to come down at one point. And we're seeing it now. We're seeing it now the hard way, especially for those who bought the tops, right? And I've warned you guys, don't buy charts at the top unless you believe in strong fundamentals, right? Buying Bitcoin at the top of January of 2018, when Bitcoin went to 19 or 20,000, in hindsight was a good decision, right? Even though you bought the absolute top, right? But you're still in profit even today after this harsh crash, right? So that's why I'm saying, if you buy strong fundamentals at the top, you're not doing everything wrong, right? Sure, you should have bought it earlier, way before price discovery, but at least you're buying something that has a long-term future, right? And there's a lot of projects out there. So now we have that out of the room. We have all this negative news out of the room, and probably we're going to see much more than that, right? Probably we're going to see even more news coming out next week, and crypto markets keep going down, right? But guess what? Who is buying then, right? Guess who is buying? They're all buying. Those guys who spread the news are also buying. So now we got all the bearish stuff out of the room, okay? Now let's talk about what is still to come. Why do I still think that we're in a bull run? And guys, it's actually very simple. I think we're still in a bull run because there's so much fundamental technical implementations still coming up, right? Starting from Ethereum, right? Sure, there's not too much going on Bitcoin right now, but Bitcoin now is kind of this digital gold narrative, right? So people are just buying it, right? And it could be, for example, if another major fund would buy a lot of BTC, right? That could trigger another hype cycle for Bitcoin. But let's start with Ethereum from a tech angle, right? We have Ethereum improvement proposal 1559 that is going to be implemented sometime in July, I think. And what does this do? This makes Ethereum an ultra scarce commodity because it implements a burning mechanism that with every single transaction that you make on Ethereum blockchain, a portion of that fee gets burned, right? So you actually have a deflationary asset now that might be even scarcer than Bitcoin, right? And right now, Bitcoin still has an inflation rate of 1.7%, right? Most people don't even know that, but Bitcoin is still inflationary in that sense. And when EIP 1559 gets implemented on Ethereum, it could be even scarcer than Bitcoin, right? So that is amazing. Plus, it also has some other implementations that come with it that also make the fee finding much more efficient and also in favor of the end user and not in favor of the miner. But that's just one thing. Another thing that's going to come, and that is going to be massive, 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 is that Uniswap, the largest decentralized exchange in the world measured by volumes, is going to implement optimistic rollups. And optimistic rollups are a scaling solution that make the efficiency increase by 1000x, right? According to Vitalik, I guess. Optimistic rollups are not only going to come on a Uniswap, they're also going to come on Ethereum itself, right? So I don't know which one comes first. I think it would make much more sense for it to come on Ethereum itself, right? But I think Uniswap is going to implement it maybe even earlier than that. But that's massive, guys. That's huge, huge, huge. And when that comes, it means that we can finally use DeFi again, right? I haven't really used DeFi now in days or weeks because it's just way too expensive to use, right? It's way too expensive to transact, to swap, to do anything with it, right? So you can't even do any smart contract calls anymore because it just doesn't make any sense, right? And that means the whole DeFi space and the whole NFT space are suffering and completely drying out because people can't afford to use it. It's as simple as that, right? So that's one thing. Then let's go down the list. Let's look at, for example, Cardano. Cardano has smart contracts coming in August. I think in the end of this month, in the end of May, they're going to launch smart contracts on the Cardano testnet. And then in sometime in July or I think August, they're going to implement it on the mainnet. And this, my friends, is going to be absolutely huge because now suddenly you can do everything that you can do on Ethereum, everything that deals with DeFi, NFTs, liquidity provision, yield farming, you can do that on Cardano. And there's hundreds, if not thousands of projects already in the pipeline preparing for that. And guys, this is going to be massive because now you cannot only speculate on the ADA price, but you can actually use it in DeFi natively on Cardano. So this is going to be huge. Smart contracts on Ethereum are coming. The next thing that I think is going to be massive as well is parachains on Polkadot. And we have heard this narrative now going on for half a year, maybe even for more longer than that. But they're poised to come, I think, sometime in Q3, right? Sure, it has been always delayed, but that's classic in crypto, right? They never ship on the first kind of like schedule that they give out. But parachains on Polkadot are coming, which means that Polkadot is evolving into a real ecosystem, right? That is not just filled on promises, but it's actually usable and functional, right? And even though that's not the end status, what Polkadot wants to become, right? But that's just basically bringing Polkadot from 0 to 1, right? It brings Polkadot truly alive. And I think many people don't even know about Polkadot, especially those who joined new and just bought Shiba Inu and Dogecoin. But Polkadot is going to be massive and it's here to stay, right? And another thing that I'm mostly excited about from all of what I've shared so far is, well, I'm super excited about Ethereum progress, but also the Gravity DEX launch on Cosmos. Guys, this thing is still coming in June next month, in a few weeks. And this is going to be absolutely huge because it's the first cross-chain DEX, the first cross-chain kind of like equivalent to a Uniswap that is running on the Cosmos hub, which brings incredible utility for Atom. And I usually never talk about, you should buy, you should not buy, you should do this, you should that. I usually say what I do. And looking at Atom at what is it, $13, $14, that is to me an absolute no-brainer, right? So that is to me incredible, insane. I don't even know what the word I'm looking for, but Guys, this is completely nuts to me. So what was the point of listing all those things? The point was to really show you that, guys, there is fundamental upgrades, implementations coming on to many of those crypto projects, especially the large cap coins, that are going to make them fully functional and fully alive, right? And that means from a user experience, from a user perspective, we'll soon have fun in DeFi again, right? And I'm actually looking for that. I can't wait for it. Now, so that's one thing. Does that mean also at the same time that low cap alts are dead? Well, I think for the moment, yes, low cap alts are dead because most of them are D apps running on Ethereum. And since Ethereum is still, a few weeks away from scaling, or through Uniswap at least, I think for now low cap alts are dead. Maybe what makes sense is to scoop up very cheap coins with very strong fundamentals, right? Where they're super well funded, they could survive a 3-4 year market, 3-4 year long bear market, where that the team is super committed, as in they don't want to abandon the project if they're not motivated anymore. And 3, where there's a product demand, right? A product market fit. And in that context, I also want to mention one thing I think is very important, because right now you see that all coins are going down, right? Especially also the low cap coins. But the thing is that most of these coins are predominantly trading against BTC or ETH, right? And if the fiat value of those coins of BTC and ETH goes down, which is the main trading pair for low cap alts, right? Especially low cap alts, but also mid cap and large cap alts, then you also automatically see that the value of those coins goes down, right? In fiat value, in fiat terms. Doesn't mean that there's a crazy sell-off here, right? It's just very much correlated to each other. Hence, the fiat value goes down. Now, the big question is now, what should you do? And my answer to that is that you should not panic. Number one, sure, it hurts to see your portfolio going down. It hurts to be confronted with those numbers bleeding out, right? And going down and crashing hard, especially also for my favorite coins, right? Cosmos is ridiculously cheap right now. It almost hurts, but at the same time, you should see those things as an opportunity, right? When was the best time to buy crypto in 2020? It was when we had this liquidity crash in March, right? When markets completely dried out and Bitcoin was in a free fall to 3,000 something. ETH was trading at $80, $90, right? And then nobody wanted to buy. Nobody wanted to buy those coins at those prices. They were all scared to buy. And then 6 months later, they thought, oh my God, how stupid was I not to buy? I should have bought it. I should have. Imagine I would have. I should have. I could have. But they didn't, right? I know some people who did. I did. I bought back then. I wish I bought more, obviously. But I'm buying now. I'm buying right now. I haven't bought crypto with fiat since I think January or February, but I'm buying now again because those prices are absolutely crazy to me. And I know that's also how I want to wrap this video up. Fundamentally, nothing has changed. Nothing has changed because you can't magically change the blockchain, right? Even though some people tend to believe that the Chinese government is empowered to change the consensus rules on the Bitcoin blockchain, guess what, guys? They can't. So the point is, fundamentals haven't changed. If you're convinced of the asset that you bought, that you like, that you want to hold, for me, it's Cosmos, Hedera Hashgraph, a lot of other coins that I'm talking about on my channel, even the low cap alts, even IrisNet, right? Like all these smaller coins. If you're convinced of those coins, which is what I am convinced of my coins, and you may be convinced of other coins, then you should buy, you should stack them, right? When there's blood on the streets, you buy the blood, you buy low and sell high, means you buy red, you sell green, right? Now it's red, so it's buy time. So don't panic. I know it hurts to see the portfolio going down in value. It even hurts me, right? Whenever I see my portfolio, I'm also emotional. I'm also human, right? So I'm not a trader. It means that I usually don't really have my emotions under control as much as I wish for. However, it's time to chill and just, maybe take some time off also, go outside or spend time with your family, go travel, do something else, right? Because I don't think that we're going to recover in the next few days, right? 2, 3, 4 days. Maybe it's going to be a slow recovery for many weeks, right? But it will recover. It always has recovered and it will always recover, right? So that's the bottom line, guys. I'll leave you with that. If you enjoy this content, hit up the like button, subscribe. That's the best you can do for me. I'm really happy for that. Also, watch out my previous videos. I just dropped a collaboration with Dab Digital, man. He's also a really cool guy, super experienced, has gone through many cycles now since 2013 when he got his first Bitcoin. And he's saying very similar things, you know. So yeah, we're pretty much aligned on that. Whenever that happens in the future, and it will happen again, right? There will always be those crashes. Like we've seen these crazy lines to the moon, we're also going to see crazy lines back to Earth, right? So that's just a normal game in crypto. Nothing new, nothing unseen. And yeah, anyways, I'll leave you with that. Take care and be good and stay safe.